Hello! Welcome back to Skeledon, Bushcraft and Survival. Glad you could join me. And today I'm going to kind of cover how I feel about the products, the survival kits that you buy in the store. And they always have a fishing line and a hook. And kind of cover why I don't think that that's a good idea for a survival item. And if it was in there, how to use it. And also, if you didn't have anything like that, other ways that you could, if you had the means to fish in a survival situation. Now, first off, like I said, you might not be able to fish. You might not have any place to fish. You might have a little creek that you're getting water out of, and there's no fish in there. So, you know, that's kind of a pointless thing. But if you are in an area where you could actually fish, and you're probably getting your water from the same source, then you don't really have time to fish, because your time needs to be put on gathering up the firewood so you can boil your water, get a fire and then boil the water and get your shelter going, and so on and so forth. So there's so many other things that you would have to maintain continuously that you couldn't find time to set aside to spend hours trying to catch a fish. So I'm going to show a way to make a basket so that you can, you know, set that up and fish, but, you know, while you're not actually attending and, you know, doing the other things that you might need to do. Now, what I'm going to start with is more of a bushcraft way, but it might be a survival way if it's the only means. It takes a little longer to do. It takes a lot more resources in order to be able to put together, but I'll show you that one first, and then I'll show you the next point, another way that you might have the means to do, and it's a lot quicker. So I'll go ahead and bring you in, and we'll go ahead and start with the first method, and we'll take the same basket that I am working on, and we'll show the other method that might be more feasible in a survival situation if you have certain things with you. So let's get started. What I've done is I've taken the inner bark from each of the limbs, and I've used that to hold it together. I've taken some vines, grapevines, bent them into a circle. I made one circle out of one of the limbs, and I made a circle here, a ring, I keep calling it a circle, a ring out of another grapevine, another ring out of a branch, and a smaller ring out of a branch. And now I'm taking the limbs and I'm tying it to those rings with, like I said, the inner bark that comes from the same tree. So I'm able to get the cordage that I need from this tree, and the limbs, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, several limbs, several trees to make this bushcraft kitchen right here. And right now I'm just using that as a table. But several limbs that I can use to make this fish trap basket. So at the very end here, I just grouped them up together, made some cordage, tied those together, and it's going to have to be wrapped a little tighter once it's all said and done, but I need it to be able to move. And wrapped it around the first ring, and then I'm doing the second ring right now. The third ring will go in at the top side, and then this ring will actually fit inside of this ring, and I'll show you that on how that works, you know, here in a minute. But I got some limbs here, and I peel away the outer bark here. Nice and slow so I get all of it. Like I said before in a previous video, the outer bark is not really flexible, whereas the inner bark is. And that brings up something else. If you're looking for a tree to give you good cordage, look for a tree that you can snap the limbs really easy. I'll take this for instance. If I snap the limbs and just green, you know, it's green, and I can just pretty much like snap at like a perfect 90 degree, you know. If I can do that, then that means that the inner bark of that tree is going to be like super strong cordage. Okay, it will make super strong cordage. It's just the way that trees grow. If the wood itself is weak, then the outer bark, I'm sorry, the outer covering of it, the inner and outer bark, it's got to compensate for that. So you find a tree that you can do that with, you know that you're going to get good cordage out of it, because the outer bark, or the inner bark is what you're actually using for cordage, is going to be really strong. If you find a tree and you try to bend it and it just like breaks off here, half of it up here breaks off, but this part is still connected, the inner bark is not going to be as strong. You still may be able to make cordage out of it, but it's not going to be as strong as you know, this situation right here. Now that it's this wide, I'm actually going to pull it from the middle to get more of these strips. Alright, so I got 3 strips out of that. Now, this one right here is my next limb that I'm working on, and I'm wanting to bring it up. So, as these come together, this ring, it crosses each other. I'm going to lock this up underneath of this piece right here. Lock it up underneath, and then tie it. And that holds that position a lot easier for me. In this situation, I'm doing this. And you can pull nice and tight on that. I didn't twist it. I didn't do anything fancy with it. I just peeled it off of it, and now I'm using it as cordage to tie this vine knot right there. I didn't have to twist it or anything like that for this purpose. And then I get the next one in line, get the next piece, and I want to make sure that this is straight, and then tie it to it. And that's it. On to the next one. So I'll come back when I get this all finished here, and we'll go on to the next step. We've got all this done. I've got the middle ring tied down and the top rings tied down, and now it's time to do the weaving. Now what I'm using for the weaving is the inner bark of the same tree. I've taken them off in sheets and taken all the bark off of them, so it's just the inner bark. And now it's time to weave. Now I've ended right here, so I'm actually wanting to start this one right here, laying on top of that to kind of hold it down. I'm going to pull it out about this far. I'd say, 9, 10 inches. Alright. There we go. The reason why I'm wanting to do this is because I'm kind of wanting to lock it in place. So when I pull on this side, I'm not pulling this back out. So, pull this tight. Alright. Now, I can feed this part through. And continue on. Weaving in and out. And it does want to twist on you. So, kind of got to feed it through the front end and then pull when you get close. Now right here on this side is where it came back through. So I'm wanting to tuck this down, push this over, and tuck this down up underneath. Pull it tight and tuck it down so that when this comes back through, again, we are locking it down in place. I want this on top of that. There we go. And there we go. Turn the basket and continue on. Okay, now this method right here, like I was saying, if it was the only way that you had, then as long as you take time to get all the resources together and stuff like that, this will work. But if you have some things with you, like cordage, and you have enough of it, there's another method that you can do, and I'm about ready to show you that one, step by step on how to put that one together. That is a lot faster than this method, and well, in my opinion, if you had the resources to do it, would be a better option in a survival situation. Now, I said that I was going to cover on the hook and line, something like this right here. If you would tie the hooks to this, so that if they didn't swim inside, then you would still might be able to catch them with the hooks. Now that would be a good way to utilize the hooks. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set things up, and then we'll get started on a fish net. For today, I'm going to be using about 300 feet of cordage to do this specific net. Now, to start off with, you make your length, okay, you double over on itself, and then you hold it in front, make the loop in front, and send the other two ends through and down. Like that. And then you take your next one, and you make sure that they're the same length. Again, you hold it up like this right here, on this side, or on your side, and then wrap it around the cord, through, and then down. Now for me, I'm going to make about 3/4 of an inch apart, all the way down, and I'll show you how to tie those together. Okay, with this example right here, see, you've got two separate ones here. The two on the inside are the ones that actually go together. So, the 3/4 inch You just hold up, pinch right here, wrap it around, through, and then you want to grab onto that so you can push it up close and pull it down. And there you go. And you would just take this one and the inside of this one and do the same thing all the way across. The ends will actually wrap around and connect each other so that it'll make a complete ring. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll string it up and show you. I hope you can see. Now you see how these are two separate ones? You've got the center one just like I showed in the very beginning with the two. You pinch them together and making a diamond. You wrap it around, you reach through, you grab, you pull, and hold your fingers up tight as you get in them, and then pull tight. And that way you get a small little diamond. And you just keep doing that all the way through. This one right here with this one right here, so that you make that diamond. This one right here with this one right here, make that diamond. Just wrap it around, put it in there, pull up tight, and done. These two, same thing, over. I overed it too much. Just like that right there, through that loop, grab on, pull, take this, pull up so that it's tight, and try to make them as even as you can. If see, that one right there will actually work. It's a little bigger, but it'll work. And then this one right here, hope you can still see. Yeah, you can. This one right here I'm going to make a little bit tighter. Pull it up tight. There. There we go. It's kind of hard going over here trying to do it. Normally I'm right in front of it. But you just keep doing that all the way through and all the way around. Take that right there, pull it through, pull this back up, tight, pull this, tight. Just like that right there. And you just do that all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on, and when I get to the very end, I'll come back. And there you have it. Now that's something that you could do. It's a lot faster than doing it the other way. And the only thing that you need now is build yourself up another one to fit right here in front, and get a smaller one and put the limbs to tie this all together. It does not have to be like this, but it has to be close, and that way you can fit this inside here. Now, this right here, you want it to be big enough for at least a bluegill to get in. This is probably too small. Probably need to make it a little bigger for a bluegill to get in. But the idea of that tunneling, when they go in, when they try to swim back out, they keep going into a dead end, and it's hard for them to find that same. That's the idea. That's not necessarily true, but it's the idea. And the reason why that I made this net the way that I did, so close together, and I'll get it closer so you can see. The reason why that I did the net so close is because if other things get in there, like crawdads or frogs or something like that, that would be that would be an edible that, you know, could sustain you. So, trying to catch as much as I can. I would take a piece of cordage and tie it on, and that way when I lift it up out of the water, it's lifting up this way, and that way they can't swim and get out. If you pull it, they might get out that way. You're giving them more chance to find that center hole. But if you just lift it up, then more than likely they won't get out. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. And before I forget, I'll explain the fishing line to tie on the side here and dangle out here with a hook, just in case they don't get inside. It would be all the way around it for them to, possibly get hooked. But that would be the only thing that I would see that a fishing line and a hook would do any good, is to, having a drop line system. Because it's just, there's too many things that you would have to do in a survival situation. And taking all your time at the fishing hole trying to catch a fish, to me, even if you caught one, is non-productive. Because there's so many things that you missed out on. And you'd find out at night that well, I should have done this. Doing something like this right here, check it every 2 or 3 hours. And you can do your other stuff that you need to do, but you're still fishing. So like I said, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new, please subscribe. Thanks to all the people that have already subscribed. I greatly appreciate you. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you soon.